السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وبعد. For dear brothers and sisters, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this opportunity provided for us by Imam Amin and those who work with him to be able to come together once again as a family, as a village, in order to concentrate with the help of Allah on that which will benefit our family. All of us at home have family meetings, family gatherings, when we sit down as a family to talk about that which is important to us. On behalf of the men and women, brothers and sisters, young people of the Mosque of Islamic Brotherhood, living in the country of New York City, the village of Harlem, I greet all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When I looked at the schedule, I saw there that this segment is entitled Wisdom of the Elders. Wisdom of the Elders. Now, I don't consider myself to be a wise person, but I have grown to the point where I now embrace being an elder. When I go to the movies, go to the train, you know, I say, one senior citizen, please. And I don't have any problem with doing that. And so because I am able to do that, I think not so much wisdom, but I would like to share with you some thoughts and reflections that I have as an elder in our community. I took Shahada at the age of 20 years old, which was 45 years ago. And as I have grown and matured, moving from being a youngster to being an elder, there are experiences, thoughts, and reflections that I've gained, some of which I want to share with you. And so I've entitled this talk, Thoughts and Reflections on the Consequences of a Misdirection of Our Development as Muslim Americans of African descent. This is the African American Islamic Summit, am I right? Thoughts and reflections on the consequences of a misdirection of our development as Muslim Americans of African descent. Our existence, like that of other people, in this day and in this time, is in continuance of the generation before us, or the earlier point. And by the way, before I go into this, I want to encourage us to remember one of our elders. worked hard for decades in Allah's cause, worked hard for decades in the cause of freedom and justice. And this elder is not able to come to conferences.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Malik yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen. The English translation of that is, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, all the praises and thanks be to Allah, the Lord of the Alamin, mankind, jinn, and all that exists, the most gracious, the most merciful, the only owner and the only ruling judge of the day of recompense, the day of resurrection. You alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help for each and everything. Guide us to the straight way, the way of those on whom you have bestowed your grace, and not the way of those who have earned your anger and wrath. Okay, and with that, I welcome you to another episode of the History, Community Life, and Diversity of Muslim Americans in New England. The thing that I just recited was the first chapter of the Muslim Holy Book, and in Arabic is entitled the Fatiha, and in English it's the opening. And at the end, the last verse, it said, the way of those on whom you have bestowed your grace, and not the way of those who have earned your anger and wrath. So, wrath. With that, I'd like to one day do a show on the wrath of Allah, but not this week. That's one of the upcoming shows. And with that, I greet you with the ancient Arabic cordial of peace and sanity, and that is Assalamu alaikum. Okay, peace be unto you. Oh, okay, I guess you're wondering what that opening video was about. Well, a lot of people come up to me. This is Mr. Rashid. When are you going to do a broadcast on African-American Muslims? Okay, well, okay. I said, well, we'll get around to it. From time to time, we do feature different things about Black American Muslims in the United States, and that was one of them. The opening video was a small snippet from the annual African American Muslim Summit. So that was a snippet from African American Summit 2016, and we're going to try to get back to that video on the African American Summit, okay, and 2016. But right now, I'd like to bring your attention to something that's very important, and it's coming up here this weekend, and they have been doing this for about for about 10 years, and that's the folks at the Philip Brooks House. That's Philip Brooks House is located at Harvard University, and it's a public service program for students, and they teach public service, okay? And so every year they have what is called the annual Robert Coles Award, okay? Annual Robert Coles Call of Service Lecture and Award, and they'll be at the First Parish Church as usual. That's the Cambridge Unitarian Universalist Church. That's the annual Robert Coles Award. Last year they awarded the award went to Robert Moses from Cambridge. He was an old civil rights fighter, if you want to call him. He was a civil rights advocate. He was one of the first who rode the buses down south and tried to integrate the South. That's Robert Cole. That was last year. But this year, they're honoring, Monica Roberts, okay? That's the Philip Brooks House Association's Call of Service Lectures and Award brings a significant leader in public service to inspire the Harvard community to become engaged in critical social issues. The lecture honors former PBHA volunteer trustee and longtime Harvard faculty Remember Dr. Robert Cole, 50, in his book, The Call of Service, which examines the idealism PBHA seeks to install in all its student volunteers. This year, the event will honor human rights activist Monica Roberts. So the event is free and open to the public, but space is limited. To reserve your spot, we recommend using a computer to register rather than a mobile device, okay? So the contact information for that, okay, I'm gonna give it to you coming up, but that's featured the honored guest and the one who's gonna be awarded with the Philip Robert Cole Award is gonna be Miss Monica Roberts, okay? Okay, okay, that's Saturday, 29th, okay? So, yeah, October 29th, Saturday, 5 to 8 p.m. And that's okay, so Philip Brooks House, I want you also to join them for their Alumni Association for their annual general meeting at the Philip Brooks House. Alumni will report on the activities, initiatives, and interactions they have had with each other and current PBHers. In addition, discussion will focus on the role alumni can play in fostering a lifelong PBHA community and serving as mentors for current students. There will also be an opportunity to meet the Philip Brooks House Association's associators from many different class years. So light breakfast and coffee will be served at 9 a.m. Please direct all questions to Christy Loney. That's PBHA president at alumni president at pbh.org. Okay, I'm gonna try to get you this other number. There's still time for you to register. Okay, so okay, what's that? Okay, well, make inquiries about this. I guess that's it. That's alumni president at pbha.org, and inquire about the registration for this event. That's once again, that's the annual Robert Cole's Call of Service Election Awards at the First Parish Church, Cambridge Unitarian Universalism, and I think they're at Church in Mass Ave, right there, right at the Harvard campus, okay? So you don't want to miss that, okay? The Honorable Miss Maria Celeste Mendoza is graduate of the class of 90, is currently a judge for the 120 Judicial District Court of Texas, and a 2014 Texas Woman Lawyer and Pathfinders, and I guess she's going to be featured there too. She's going to be one of the, I guess, keynote speakers or the addressers, okay? Okay, so you don't want to miss that. Okay, I got some good news for you. You remember back when Boko Haram kidnapped 200 girls out of Africa? Yeah, Boko Haram, they kidnapped, and that's in Nigeria, they kidnapped about 200 girls, young girls. And I got good news for you. Just about 50, 60, or 70 of them were released. And they're known as the Chibok girls in Nigeria, and 50 or 60. I don't think they released the whole 200, but it's good news. They released a whole bunch of them. But I got some video on it, and I want to share it with you. And the people are so happy that these young ladies have come back to their homes, families, relatives, friends, and everything. Hold on.
It's been 2.5 years that the parents of several kidnapped Chibok schoolgirls have their daughters back. Tears of joy ran freely as 21 of the girls were reunited with their families in Nigeria's capital of Abuja on October 16th. In April of 2014, Boko Haram militants captured 276 female students from their school in the Borno state town of Chibok. Many attempts by the government to negotiate their freedom had failed as Boko Haram demanded the release of captured militants in return. But on October 13th, 21 of the girls were freed. The government has not said whether it handed over any Boko Haram members, but a security official told the BBC that 4 commanders were exchanged. The Associated Press also said that the Swiss government paid millions of dollars in ransom money on behalf of the Nigerian government. Nigeria's Information Minister Lai Mohammed said negotiations to free more detained girls will continue. For Newsbeat Social, I'm Gabrielle Caldwell.
Okay, it's excellent having those girls back home. And so, fortunately, if it's God's will, Allah's will, the rest of those young ladies will be released and brought back to their homes. Okay, I'd like to also remind you of another event that's coming up this weekend, and that's from October 27th to the 30th, and it starts tomorrow, and that is the Arlington International Film Festival. Okay, so they're going to have a series of films that they're going to be premiering, and everybody's come out and view them from 27th to 30th. But one of those films caught my eye, and it's a film entitled Between Allah and Me and Everyone Else, and that's it. And they're showing this at 2:30 p.m. That's the Arlington International Film Festival Sunday, October 30th, 2 p.m. And it's a film by Kayoko Yokamed, the writer, director from out of Canada, okay? And the film explores the challenge of 4 Canadian Muslim women making decisions either to start or stop wearing hijab. That's what the women wear on their head and heads, unveiling how the hijab carries many diverse meanings and messages, and its intricate and complex effects on Muslim women, their families and communities, and the larger multicultural society. So if you missed, I recommend that you go out and see this at Sunday, October 30th. And as a matter of fact, I recommend you go out and attend this whole event from the 27th to 30th there at the Capitol Theater, Arlington, Mass. That's the Arlington International Film Festival and the film 2:30 Sunday. Don't you miss it. It's entitled Between Allah and Me. Okay, I got another thing. This is not quite Islamic, but it's a news item of interest. Okay, CCTV's own Dr. Caesar McDowell. Some of you may know Dr. Caesar McDowell. He's a professor at the MIT, and he's also on the board of directors here at CCTV. So he's going to be appearing at an event entitled Crisis or Opportunity, a dialogue on democracy, inclusion, and community. That's Thursday, tomorrow, 7 to 9 p.m. So if you don't have anything to do between 7 and 9 p.m. tomorrow, I advise you to get out and watch and attend this event with CCTV's own Dr. Caesar McDowell, a dialogue of democracy, inclusion, and community. That's Thursday, October 22nd, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. The reception is at 6 p.m., and it will be at the Aikida Center for Peace, Learning, and Dialogue. That's 396 Harvard Street, Cambridge. So you come out, please join everyone for a timely dialogue with Caesar McDowell, president of the Interaction Institute for Social Change and professor of practice of community development at MIT. Together, we will examine the challenging but vital democratic endeavors of fostering inclusive, equitable, and just communities. We look forward to a wide-ranging conversation on great potential for unity within and our communities. So everything is free and open to the public. For more information, please visit www.ikedaCenter.org. Once again, that's www.ikidacenter.org, and they'll be featuring CCTV's own board member, Dr. Caesar McDowell. Okay, once again, I felt so good that they were able to release these girls in Nigeria that was kidnapped by Boko Haram. Okay, and I want to play that video again for you because everybody's celebrating in Nigeria, and I think we should also send some praises up to Allah and thanks to Allah for allowing these girls to come back home with their families. Okay, here we go.
It's been 2.5 years that the parents of several kidnapped Chibok schoolgirls have their daughters back. Tears of joy ran freely as 21 of the girls were reunited with their families in Nigeria's capital of Abuja on October 16th. In April of 2014, Boko Haram militants captured 276 female students from their school in the Borno state town of Chibok. Many attempts by the government to negotiate their freedom had failed as Boko Haram demanded the release of captured militants in return. But on October 13th, 21 of the girls were freed. The government has not said whether it handed over any Boko Haram members, but a security official told the BBC that 4 commanders were exchanged. The Associated Press also said that the Swiss government paid millions of dollars in ransom money on behalf of the Nigerian government. Nigeria's Information Minister Lai Mohammed said negotiations to free more detained girls will continue. For Newsbeat Social, I'm Gabrielle Caldwell.
Okay, so we want to send up praises to Allah for allowing the Chibok girls to come back home to their beloved families, friends, relatives, loved ones, and their neighborhoods. Okay, I'm Hassan Rashid, and this is History, Community Life, and Diversity of most Americans in New England. I wanna tell you another thing. The big summit, regional summit coming up on homelessness is not going to be tomorrow, the 27th. Is not going to be held at the city council. It's going to be held at the city council. Excuse me, the Ringen Latin School, and that's the community room at the Ringen Latin School. That's 240. I think it's 240 Broadway. But they're going to be at the community room where the board, where the city school district have their meetings, and that's from 2 to 5 p.m. Tomorrow. So they're not going to be at the city hall. They're going to be at the Ringen Latin School, and that's the big summit, regional summit coming up on homelessness with city councilman and vice mayor McGovern. So if you're intended on going to the city hall, it's not at the city hall. It's going to be at the community room at the Ringen Latin School, and it's about 240. It's right next to the public library on Broadway there, and that's 449 Broadway. So I think it's okay. That's it's about 440 or okay, that's right. Okay, I got a few more minutes here to share some more information with you, but this is about the Center for Arabic Culture and the Aga Khan Documentation Center at MIT presents Edward Said on Orientalism. Okay, that's November 11, 2016, 6:30 p.m. The Center for Arab Culture is going to be the venue, the location for this event. That's at 191 Highland Avenue, Suite B, 6B, Somerville. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the film that they're going to be showing. The film discusses the Edward Said provocative work, his hypothesis in his book Orientalism, and is represented along with his take on a variety of contemporary issues of cultural history and global importance. So the Center for Arabic Culture, all the films are free and open to the public. Each film will be followed by guided discussion. The Center for Arabic Culture is a non-profit organization dedicated to celebrating the Arabic culture in all its regional and historical varieties, and links to other cultures in an open, democratic, and humanistic way. So their film on the 11th, once again, is Edward Said on Orientalism. Okay, so they're going to be at the Culture for Arab Center, Center for Arab Culture, 191 Highland Avenue, Suite B, Somerville, Mass. So that's another thing that you won't want to miss. And so Harvard Islamic Society, they're inviting you for a fall dinner. That's entitled Changing Our Hands, Muslim Votes and Representation in the 216 election and beyond. Changing Our Hands, Muslim Votes and Representation in the 216 elections and beyond. So featuring a keynote address from Zaki Barzinzi. Okay, so the Harvard Islamic Society invites you to change in our hands, Muslim votes and representation 2016 election and beyond. Join us at the dinner to hear about Muslims in America and Muslims in the U.S. political, particularly during this important election season. So our keynote speaker, once again, Zaki Barzinzi. Okay, so the Harvard, this event is going to be held at, the Leverett Dining Hall. That's at 28 DeWolf Street, and they're going to be there Saturday, 2016, October 29th, 8:30 p.m. And tickets are $5. So SEF, I don't know what that means, eligible for undergraduates. That's some type of term that relates to a campus life there at Harvard University. So if you'd like to reserve your tickets now, you can do it by I guess you can go to the website, HIS Fall Dinner 16 at eventbrite.com, or you can go to www.hcsharvard.edu/HIS. That's the Harvard Fall Dinner. Okay, Changing Our Minds, Muslim Votes and Representation, and in the 2016 election and beyond. Okay, there's one, well, that's about it. But I'm Hassan Rashid. You know, always leave me with the fact that superior wisdom can never be subjected by inferior wisdom. So until next time, I leave you with the ancient Islamic greeting. And for all of you who are out there interested in what's going on with American Muslims, okay, I'd like to end the broadcast with this little video snippet. So until next time, I leave you with the ancient Islamic greeting of peace, and that is Assalamu alaikum.
These are the sobering facts. American Muslims are the least warmly regarded faith group in America. 1 in 5 Muslims report experiencing regular discrimination based on their religion. About half of Americans say they don't know a Muslim, so much of what they know comes from the media. Yet 80% of news coverage about Islam and Muslims in the United States is negative. With so much time spent fighting bigotry, day-to-day needs often go unaddressed. It's clear that Muslims need a voice, an opportunity to speak for themselves, a way to identify community challenges and possible solutions. ISPU's American Muslims at a Crossroads Poll 2017 will do just that, and you can help make it happen. Polling the American Muslim community is tough. With such a small percent of Americans falling into this category, getting a representative sample makes us break a sweat. But with our expert researchers